Welcome to our channel, and today we will discuss the Enron scandal. As most of you people know that Enron scam considered the world's biggest scam. So let's start from the introduction of Enron. Enron Corporation was an energy, commodities and service company based in Houston, Texas. It was founded by the Kenneth Lay in 1985 as a result of merger between the Houston Natural Gas and the Internorth Company. Enron Corporation was one of the leading supplier of natural gas, and then it diversified in communication, broadband, pulp and paper. Enron employed approximately 20,000 staff with claimed revenue of nearly $101 billion during 2000. Fortune magazine named Enron America's most innovative company for consecutive 6 years. So, now we will discuss the key players of scandal. Number 1 is the Kenneth Lay. He was the Enron founder and the former CEO. He took up the run at Enron in 1986 to 2002. Prior to Enron collapse, he was credited with building Enron's success. He was the America's highest paid CEO with compensation package of $42.4 million in 1999, and he drew down his $4 million Enron credit and then repaid the company with Enron shares after becoming focus of anger of employees, stockholders, pension fund holders who lost $1 billion disasters. So the second one is the Jeffrey Skilling. So he was the mastermind of this scam, former chief executive president and chief operating officer. He joined Enron in 1990 from the consultancy firm McKinsey, where he had developed his financial guts. So he helped Enron in 1987 to create a forward market in natural gas. He was the one who introduced mark-to-market accounting. He was also seen as a key architect of a company's gas trading strategy. He resigned his post as Enron's chief executive in August 2001. The third part is the Andrew Fastow. He was the financial chief officer. He was fired in October 2001 when the Enron made losses amount of $600 million. He was allegedly responsible for engineering the off-balance sheet partnership that allowed Enron to cover its losses. He was also found by an internal Enron investigation to have secretly made $30 million from managing one of these partnerships. So the fourth one is the David Duncan. Enron chief auditor at Anderson. His job was to check Enron accounts. So he is accused of ordering the shredding of thousands of Enron related documents to hide them from the SEC, Security Exchange Commission. Number five is the Enron's accounting firm, Arthur Anderson. So basically, it is the huge player behind this scam. Arthur Anderson was the Enron's auditing firm. Its job was to check that the company's account were a fair reflection of what was really going on. So basically, Arthur Anderson was an consultant firm for the Enron and for many other companies. The company earned large fees from its audit work for Enron and from related work as the consultants to the same company. When the scandal broke, the US government began to investigate the company affairs. एंडरसन चीफ ऑडिटर फॉर एनरॉन डेविड डंकन. अब जब एनरॉन का फ्रॉड पकड़ा गया तो इन लोगों को अपनी टेंशन पड़ गई. इन लोगों ने अपने जो इन लोगों का चीफ ऑडिटर था, जो एनरॉन में इन लोगों का काम कर रहा था, जो अकाउंट्स की सेटिंग देखता था, दैट द बैलेंस शीट गिव अ फेयर रिफ्लेक्शन, इन लोगों ने ऑर्डर किया कि जितने भी उनके पेपर थे जो एज अ प्रूफ उन लोगों के पेपर थे उनको श्रेड किया जाए. सो उसके बाद इन लोगों की भी बारी आई. दैट वाज आफ्टर द सिक्योरिटीज एंड एक्सचेंज कमीशन हैड ऑर्डर्ड एन इन्वेस्टिगेशन इनटू द स्पेक्टेक्युलर एक्शन ऑफ एनरॉन. एंडरसन फायर्ड डंकन. अब इन लोगों ने डंकन को फायर कर दिया. कॉजेज ऑफ डाउनफॉल. नंबर 1 इज़ द रेवेन्यू रिकग्निशन. सो बेसिकली इसमें रेवेन्यू रिकग्निशन में ये होता था कि इन लोगों ने अपना बिल्कुल जो होता है मॉडर्न वे ऑफ अकाउंटिंग यूज़ किया, जबकि दूसरी ट्रेडिंग कंपनीज अपना कन्वेंशनल वे यूज़ करती थी. फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल मैंने 1 लाख की अपनी एक ज़मीन खरीदी है. मैं जब उसको अपने बैलेंस शीट में लिखूंगी तो उसमें जो उसका मैं रेवेन्यू लिखूंगी, रेवेन्यू अलग लिखूंगी, और उसका मतलब जो मेरा रेवेन्यू होगा वो तो मैं सेपरेटली लिखूंगी. बट इन लोगों ने ऐसा किया कि फॉर एग्जांपल अगर मैंने 1 लाख की ज़मीन ली है और अगर फ्यूचर में मुझे वो कुछ मतलब उसमें प्रॉफिट आ रहा है, कुछ उसमें रेवेन्यू आ रहा है, वो भी प्रेजेंट में ही मैंने कंसिडर करके लिख दिया एनरॉन में. So the Enron instead selected to report the entire value of each of its trader as revenue. इन लोगों ने अपनी entire value किसी भी चीज़ की ट्रेडिंग की वो कंसिडर की रेवेन्यू में. हालांकि ऐसा नहीं था होता, बल्कि ऐसा नहीं होता. Between 1996 and 2000, Enron's revenue increased by more than 750%, rising from $13.3 billion in 1996 to $100.8 billion in 2000. This extensive expansion of 65% per year was unprecedented in any industry, including the energy industry, which typically considered the growth of 2 to 3 per year to respectable. So the second one is mark-to-market accounting. Enron became the first non-financial company to use this method to account for its complex long-term contracts. Mark-to-market accounting required that once a long-term contract was signed, income is estimated as a present value of net future cash flow. So often the variability of these contracts and their related costs were difficult to estimate. While using this method, income from projects could be recorded although they might not have ever received. Basically इन लोगों के पास अपना मनी तो है नहीं था. ये लोगों ने जो पैसे रिसीव नहीं भी थे किए होते वो मार्क टू मार्केट अकाउंटिंग से अपना वो जो फ्यूचर में जो इन लोगों ने रिसीव करना होता था किसी भी प्रोजेक्ट का कैश किसी भी प्रोजेक्ट से वो एज अ प्रेजेंट लिख देते ताकि इन लोगों की बैलेंस शीट बहुत ज़्यादा खूबसूरत हो जाए, and in turn increasing financial earning on the books. Third casting की special purpose entities. In total by 2001, Enron had used hundreds of special purpose entities to hide its debts. Enron's balance sheet understated its liability and overstated its equity, and its earnings were overstated. So इन लोगों ने अपने liabilities छुपाए, इन लोगों ने अपने debts छुपाए, इन लोगों ने अपना capital, इन लोगों ने अपनी assets को increase करके दिखाया, इन लोगों ने अपने earning, इन लोगों ने अपने revenues को increase करके दिखाया. So that was the special purpose entities. The fourth one is the financial audit. Enron's auditor firm, Arthur Andersen, was accused of applying reckless standard in its audit because of a conflict of interest over the significant consulting fees generated by Enron. During 2000, Arthur Andersen earned $25 million in audit fees and $27 million in consulting fees. The accountants sought for new ways to save company money, including loopholes found in the generally accepted accounting principles, the accounting industry standards. The whistleblower. So the Sharon Watkins, she was the person who thinks that something is fishy in this accounting practice of the firm. So she wrote to Lay in the past expressing concerns about the Enron's accounting practice. And then she fired from the Enron because के जो भी जिसको भी कुछ fishy लगता था इनकी accounting practice में, they use their politics, they use their relations with higher authorities, and then वो उस बंदे को साइड पे लगा देते थे जो भी इनको point out करता था कि कुछ गड़बड़ है Enron के accounts में. Aftermath. Enron shareholders lost $74 billion in the 4 years before the company's bankruptcy, as Enron had nearly $67 billion that it owed creditors, employees, shareholders received limited. So in May 2004, more than 20,000 of Enron's former employees won a suit of $85 million for compensation of $2 billion that was lost from their pensions. From the settlement, the employees each received about $3,100. Hearings and the corporate scandals that followed led to the passage of the Sarbanes Acts on July 30, 2002. So here is the Enron stock price from August 23, 2000 to January 11, 2000. So you can see that from the August, इन लोगों के stock price I think 90 से भी high जा रहे थे. इस ग्राफ में इन लोगों ने 90 दिखाया हुआ है, बिल्कुल 90, एंड आहिस्ता आहिस्ता ऊपर गए, नीचे आए, ऊपर गए। इन लोगों ने काफ़ी तरक्की लोगों को दिखाई, लेकिन एट द एंड जनवरी 11 2002 में इन लोगों का पर स्टॉक, जो पर प्राइस थी एक स्टॉक की, वो कितनी हो गई, वो बिल्कुल ज़ीरो आ गई, बिल्कुल ज़ीरो, कुछ सेंट्स में इनकी प्राइस चली गई। सो दैट वाज रियली शॉकिंग कि ये लोगों को क्या दिखा रहे थे, और इन लोगों के पास बेसिकली अंदर से बिल्कुल खोखली कंपनी थी। Now we will discuss some ethical issues, ethical decision making gaps violation. अब हम देखेंगे इसमें अनएथिकल वायलेशन, अनएथिकल क्या काम हुआ। बिजनेस एंटिटी कॉन्सेप्ट, indirectly special purpose entities violate this principle. The principle of conversation, basically they understand that that's objectivity principle, they had hidden motive, therefore different people looking at the data would come to different conclusions. Revenue recognition, the mark to market method takes revenue into consideration before the transaction is complete. बेसिकली ये मार्क टू मार्केट मेथड ही बहुत बड़ी वजह बनी थी इनकी। एथिकल वायलेशन, Enron hired the incompetent accountants as well as gap personnel who intentionally manipulated the accounting principles for Enron. It's serious concerns on gap integrity. Conclusion: Enron was a massive failure, partly because of its size, partly because of its complexity, partly because the controls to protect the integrity of capital markets failed, and especially because of the massive greed of key players. So management fails, auditor fails, analyst failed, creditor bankers failed. Intersection of multiple failures and a single of structural problems, suddenly the consequences of deceptive financial data resulting from structural failure in the capital markets was not merely a hypothetical possibility. The speed with which the system responded indicates the importance of fairly presented financial information. सो बेसिकली इन लोगों ने अपने फाइनेंशियल गट्स यूज़ किए, इन लोगों ने अच्छे से अच्छे अकाउंटेंट को हायर किया ताकि इन लोगों की जो फाइनेंशियल इन्फॉर्मेशन है वो बहुत ही ज़्यादा अच्छी हो. सो द टाइम लाइन ऑफ द एनरॉन कोलैप्स. In 20 Feb 2001, the Fortune magazine story called Enron. 2001 में भी फॉर्चून मैगजीन ने इसको बहुत ही मतलब ओवर प्राइज स्टॉक कंपनी बिल्कुल कहा. And in 14 August 2001, Jeff Skilling resigned as the CEO, citing personal reasons. So the Kenneth Lay becomes the CEO once again. In 12 October 2001, Arthur Anderson legal counsel instructed the workers to destroy all the audit Enron books. In 16 October 2001, Enron reports third quarter loss of $618 million. And in 24 October 2001, the CFO Andrew Foster, who reigned some of the controversial. In December 2001, Enron filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. In January 9, 2002, U.S. Justice Department launches criminal investigation. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe my channel.